Ladies and gentlemen, may I present for your intellectual and philosophical pleasure,
Ron and Fez on Raw Dog.
Raw Dog.
Sirius XM Comedy Hits. Channel 99.
Everybody come see the greatest show. Gather up all juggalos and roll. Everybody come see the greatest show. Gather up all juggalos and roll.
Oh yeah, buddies. It's the Ron and Fez Show. 866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ. Got your dialing finger ready. We're about to go unscreened phone calls to start the show today. We haven't done this in a long time. Unscreened phone calls, your chance to say what you want, when you want, about anything you want. 866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ. Fez, make sure you tell booking department yes on that.
Okay, will do. I'll answer right now.
Okay.
Immediately.
Okay. Thanks for being up. All right. Unscreened phone calls today. I like positive Fez. It's a whole new thing.
It's already done, Ronnie. I did it.
It's like an everyday bar rescue with him, where he's ready to take on a new personality. All right, we will get your phone calls through without a screener to start to show off today. We got some imaging on that?
Thank you for calling the Ron and Fez Show. No one is currently available to screen your call. Please hold, and Ron and Fez will be right with you. Please stand by for your unscreened calls.
It's like kind of crazy that we have a screener, like an operator, telling people that they won't be screened or talking to an operator. 866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ. Unscreened phone calls.
Hey, I've got a booking for Fez. Can I talk to him off air?
Unscreened phone calls.
Hey, I was just wanted to let you know that I fucking love your ICP opening every day.
Unscreened phone calls.
Ron, you've said that Jack Nicholson is the coolest person alive. I think it's John Lennon. Who do you really think it is?
Unscreened phone calls.
Eastside D for life.
Unscreened phone calls.
What do you call Michael J. Fox on a cross-country flight? Shakes on a plane.
Unscreened phone calls.
John Ritter! John Ritter!
Unscreened phone calls.
Hey, Ron, I met Rick Aguilera in 1986. He patted me on the shoulder and said, I'll be right back, kid. I'll give you an autograph. Got in the car and sped off.
Unscreened phone calls.
Hey, I got a story for you guys. You guys help cure cancer.
Unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls.
Yeah, could you play Burnt Dog Star by the Birds, please?
866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ. Unscreened phone calls.
Please fire Jeffrey Gurian.
Unscreened phone calls.
Where's Kroll Gurian? You promised us Kroll Gurian!
866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ. Unscreened phone calls.
We need another Fezzatorio!
Unscreened phone calls.
Sam Roberts' breath smells like dick. Thank you.
866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ. Unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls.
Could you find a smaller room for us to talk in?
Unscreened phone calls.
Jenny Hurt's a fat cunt.
Unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls.
Hey, my buddy Rorschach is in the hospital. I want to wish him a speedy recovery.
Is that true?
Yeah.
We'll have to check on that. Unscreened phone calls.
Hey, hump day.
Unscreened phone calls.
I've got a tiny penis.
I know. Unscreened phone calls.
Busy, suck on that dirt.
Unscreened phone calls. That ain't gonna happen.
Good buddy.
Unscreened phone calls.
The Ron and Fez show. They've officially gone full retard. Hashtag Ron and Fez.
Unscreened phone calls.
Let's go Bruins! Yeah!
Yay. Unscreened phone calls.
Yeah, is this unscreened? I just want to say, Queen Elizabeth's pussy is fucking amazing.
Jesus. Unscreened phone calls.
Pepper Hicks, fat Pepper Hicks broke Opie's chair.
Unscreened phone calls.
Freebird!
Unscreened phone calls.
Hey, yeah, did you guys going to be lining up for the Wheeling of the Chair event every day?
Unscreened phone calls.
Hey, Fezzy, why is shit tapered? So your bunghole doesn't slam shut.
Unscreened phone calls.
Tom Seaver over Steve Carlton every day.
Fuck you. Unscreened phone calls.
Fezzy, my Titans are going to get the revenge when they beat your Rams in the Super Bowl this year.
Unscreened phone calls.
Yeah, we don't fit into that white-collar crowd. We're a little too noisy and a little too loud. But there ain't no place that I'd rather be than right here with my redneck White Sox and Blue Ribbon beer.
Unscreened phone calls.
Why do you like the wrinkled brown star?
Unscreened phone calls.
Fezwick's dog balls.
Unscreened phone calls.
Unchased Fez balls.
Unchased Fez balls.
Hey, I think that centaur should suck Fez's dick and play some Freebird for my Uncle Doug.
Unscreened phone calls.
Ice cream cone calls.
Ice cream cone calls.
Yeah. So little Johnny comes home and says to his dad, Dad, what's the difference between a pussy and a cunt? His dad says, come here, I'll show you. Goes in the bedroom where Mom is sleeping. He lifts up her nightgown and he says, see that furry thing? That's a pussy. Little Johnny says, can I touch it? Dad says, no, you'll wake the cunt.
Unscreened phone calls.
Thank you for calling the Ron and Fez show. No one is currently available to screen your call. Please hold, and Ron and Fez will be right with you. Please stand by for your unscreened calls.
Unscreened phone calls.
Hi, I just want to congratulate my good friend for the hashtag Fez promotion. Hashtag Fez promotion.
Unscreened phone calls.
Hey, I don't like the unscreened phone calls bit.
Unscreened phone calls.
I was wondering if I could promote my comedy show. It's going to be in the dark.
Unscreened phone calls.
Pepper Hicks has a cum belly.
Unscreened phone calls. True.
Hey, Ronnie, this is Blowhardy. Back in 1965, I was a know-it-all asshole.
Unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls.
What's it better?
Unscreened phone calls.
Time now for our long-distance dedication. It's a long-distance dedication to myself. For the love of fuck, someone come find me.
Unscreened phone calls.
All right.
Unscreened phone calls.
Hey, Ron, it's fuck. Ronnie!
Yeah.
Hey, it's fuck. Can you hear me?
Unscreened phone calls.
Ronnie!
Unscreened phone calls.
Hey, check out my new interview show on YouTube, One Beer with Dan Murphy. Check it out. Cool stuff.
Unscreened phone calls.
To all the fans, stop complaining about the lack of replays. It's 2014. Download the show and listen to it on demand, for God's sake. Pepper Hicks, suck that dick.
Unscreened phone calls.
Kenmore got me pregnant.
Unscreened phone calls.
Is it wrong what I done to my daddy? Because if you ain't selling Napa Auto Parts, lady, I ain't buying.
Unscreened phone calls.
Shelby likes to tickle Pepper's pecker.
True. Unscreened phone calls.
I want to hold Fez down and give him a pink belly.
Unscreened phone calls.
Where's Lily at?
Unscreened phone calls.
Hey, Ronnie, this is the real blowhard. And I just wanted to say that last caller that was talking about me is the most accurate, on point, freakishly descriptive depiction of myself that I think I've probably ever heard.
Unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls.
Grandma Noonie, Dad.
Unscreened phone calls.
Chris Stanley is a fat fuck shit breaker.
Unscreened phone calls.
Hello. Two queers walk into a bar. One's named Pepper Hicks, one's named Fez.
Unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls.
Ross Reback is a genius.
Unscreened phone calls.
Hey, what's going on, Ronnie? I'm not going to give you praise. Every time David's on, man, it's just a fucking blast. That man boy fucking coming in for Fez has had me laughing for 2 fucking weeks.
Unscreened phone calls.
Great talking to you. I'll catch you next time coming through.
Unscreened phone calls.
Maddie Poslucny is a bitch.
Unscreened phone calls.
What do you think was more of a letdown, when the chair broke under Pepper or Blondie on a comedy show?
Unscreened phone calls.
I want to drop a load of my salty fake Shane sauce down Jimmy Hutt's goo gutter.
Unscreened phone calls.
Hey, Chris Stanley, suck a dick.
Unscreened phone calls.
I'm 37 and I fucked a 22-year-old redhead yesterday.
Unscreened phone calls and bragging.
Woo! I'm back.
Unscreened phone calls.
The only way I'll have sex with you is if you can promise me you'll never die. I can't promise that. I would have sex with you right now. I promise I will never die.
Unscreened phone calls.
You remember when Fez wrestled Molly McChain?
Unscreened phone calls.
Too much Gurian.
Unscreened phone calls.
Yeah, I'd like to plug my YouTube channel, Booking by Cumbelly.
Unscreened phone calls.
Bring back Bronx Johnny and the Sextravaganza.
Unscreened phone calls.
If you're an adult wrestling fan, you like dick?
Unscreened phone calls.
Did Beyonce's sister really go after Joe Camel?
Unscreened phone calls.
So I'm pumping away on this guy's ass, and he reaches around, grabs my nuts, and I'm like, ugh, fag.
Unscreened phone calls.
Pepper Hicks rolls, 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 Pepper Hicks rolls.
Unscreened phone calls.
Yeah, can I get a Taylor egg and cheese, salt, pepper, ketchup? Shoot!
Unscreened phone calls.
The only thing Gurian's good at is making black girls seem smart.
Unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls.
Pepper Hicks sucks dicks.
Unscreened phone calls.
Miss Moneypenny.
Thank you for calling the Ron and Fez show. No one is currently available to screen your call. Please hold, and Ron and Fez will be right with you. Please stand by for your unscreened calls.
That's right, it's unscreened phone calls. Say what you want, when you want. Nothing we can do about it. 866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ. Unscreened phone calls.
Untouched Fez balls.
Untouched Fez balls.
It's the newest Fezzy segment we call Stent or Stunt.
Untouched Fez balls.
Ron and Fez show, your place for your favorite D-list celebrities. Hashtag Ron and Fez.
Unscreened phone calls.
Hey, is there a closet in there? Good, hang this up.
Unscreened phone calls. I love Fargo.
No more locked doors.
Unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls.
Cookie? Cookie?
Unscreened phone calls. No more locked doors.
Unscreened phone calls.
Yeah, if an egg is protein and sperm is protein, can you fry up sperm?
Unscreened phone calls.
I miss you so much.
Unscreened phone calls.
Now broadcasting with 10% more Centaur. Hashtag Ron and Fez.
Unscreened phone calls.
Why'd you do it? Why'd you fucking break that chair, Chris? Why'd you break the chair?
Unscreened phone calls.
This is Craig Schinkel, and Jeffrey Gurian seems to be doing a very bad imitation of my voice. Happy birthday!
Unscreened phone calls.
San Francisco? So how did you came? Did you drove and did you flew?
Unscreened phone calls.
I want to fuck Fez's mouth and fill his mustache full of my seed.
Unscreened phone calls.
I would rate my personal life a 9, but this show is definitely a 4.
Unscreened phone calls.
Hey, you ever pull your dick out of a guy's ass that looks like Abe Lincoln wears a hat?
Unscreened phone calls.
I'm Shelby, and my feet smell like dick.
Unscreened phone calls.
Christianity is a bitch.
Unscreened phone calls.
Thank you so much for my guy.
Unscreened phone calls.
Yeah, you should fire Chris and get it over with.
Unscreened phone calls.
I was that redhead that guy fucked.
Unscreened phone calls.
Run, Marty! It's the Libyans!
Unscreened phone calls.
Answer my fucking email, Pepper. I love you, Queen Elizabeth.
Unscreened phone calls.
I know enough to know that great, big, dumb cowboy crap of yours don't appeal to nobody except every jockey on 42nd Street. That's faggot stuff. You want to call it by its name? That's strictly for fags. Joe.
Oops. Unscreened phone calls.
Manny Trio, second base.
Keep going. Unscreened phone calls.
Hey, why don't one of you lazy bastards upload the program to audible.com in a regular fashion?
Unscreened phone calls.
Hey, buddies. Chris sucks dick.
Unscreened phone calls.
Shout out to Nick Kroll. And when you're done with my scarf, Ronnie, can I have it back?
Unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls.
Pimento tits love the dick.
Unscreened phone calls.
Anthony Jeselnik is really not funny. If you agree, say unscreened phone calls.
Unscreened phone calls.
Yeah, Jeffrey Gurian, get rid of him. He sucks.
Unscreened phone calls.
F. Mary Kill, Jessica Alba, Halle Berry, Beyonce.
Unscreened phone calls.
Who killed Johnny Crunch? Who killed Bobby Black? Who's Aunt Mooney?
Unscreened phone calls.
If you want to be my lover, you got to get with my friends.
Unscreened phone calls.
Deborah Hicks, just like now, yeah.
Unscreened phone calls.
You remember when you were talking about the anti-rape pants and you calmly said, what about the mouth? That was hilarious. And also, I must be the only fan that likes Jeffrey Gurian. Keep him. Shout out to Nick Kroll.
Unscreened phone calls.
I miss Soundboard Fez.
Unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls.
Yeah, Sam Roberts is gayer than Nate. Thank you.
Unscreened phone calls.
Oh, yeah. Time for a little bit of that gay talk.
Unscreened phone calls.
Oh, yeah. Time for a little bit of that gay talk.
Oh, yeah. Y'all know it's time for some of that gay talk.
Unscreened phone calls.
Pepper Hicks, put your money down. Real Madrid's going to win the Champions League final, motherfucker.
Unscreened phone calls.
Could you play Okeechobee Woman and dedicate it to my wife, please?
Unscreened phone calls.
Malaysian Flight 370. We've been missing for weeks. We're in the South Pacific, and now we found this hatch. What's in the hatch?
Unscreened phone calls.
Fuzzy gray queer balls.
Unscreened phone calls.
Why do black people always back into parking spots?
Unscreened phone calls.
Hicks touches little boy schmeckles on the playground.
Unscreened phone calls.
Shelby, you better call me back after using my body like that last week. I'm ashamed.
Unscreened phone calls.
Hashtag Shell Fez's virginity.
Unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls.
Pepper Hicks can't produce. He's a big dumb oaf. Pepper Hicks can't produce. He's worse than Olive Loaf. The loose is bored in all the land. He can't even hit the post. Oh, Pepper Hicks can't produce. Chris Stanley can't produce. Centaur can't produce. He sucks balls. We love unscreened phone calls.
Unscreened phone calls.
What I like about them high school girls, I keep getting older, they stay the same age.
Unscreened phone calls.
Yo! It's Twofer.
Unscreened phone calls.
Noris is the queen of bachata.
Thank you for calling the Ron and Fez show. No one is currently available to screen your call. Please hold, and Ron and Fez will be right with you. Please stand by for your unscreened calls.
Unscreened phone calls.
This is Jeffrey Curry, reminding you that Fez's asshole matters.
Unscreened phone calls.
We will be blindfolding you at my comedy show as well.
A lot of heat for that show tomorrow night. Unscreened phone call.
Yes, Fezzy sign. Here, and here. Oh, yeah, and right here. We'll see you in 6 months.
Unscreened phone calls.
Arky in the Book by Brian Sweet. Awesome illustrations.
Unscreened phone calls.
The AK-47. The best there is when you absolutely positively need to kill every motherfucker in the room except no substitute.
Take movie rest, brah.
Unscreened phone calls.
The wheels on the motherfucking bus go round and round.
Unscreened phone calls.
Shelby is a raging anti-cyanide. Bazinga, faggot.
Unscreened phone calls.
Dennis Falcone can suck his own penis, and so can I.
You can suck his own penis. Unscreened phone calls.
Hi, this is Calvin. I have a collect call from Folsom Correctional Facility. Do you accept?
Unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls.
I want to say Steve Carlton, but I'm going Terry Mulholland. Final answer. All centaurs are eunuchs.
Unscreened phone calls.
What's with all the faggotry in the NFL?
Just one. Unscreened phone calls.
Well, Van's a piece of crap.
Unscreened phone calls.
I don't want a street named after me. I want a cul-de-sac behind an abortion clinic. Jimmy Norton rules.
Unscreened phone calls.
Just put Velcro on the ceiling.
Unscreened phone calls.
Radio Shark sucks.
Unscreened phone calls.
Hey, baby, the roof is on fire.
You need any water? You just want to let the motherfucker burn. Unscreened phone calls.
Unscreened phone calls.
Unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls.
I got it. I ain't got it.
Unscreened phone calls.
Yes, this is Donald Sterling. I would like to apologize to Magic Johnson for being an HIV-ridden piece of... Wait, can I start over?
Unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls.
Hello?
Unscreened phone calls.
And don't forget to listen to our podcast. My wife hates me.
Unscreened phone calls.
Shelby blows baby goat.
Unscreened phone calls.
Pepper Hicks swallows the cum but spits the pre-cum. What the fuck is up with that?
Unscreened phone calls.
What's a Saturday? Jim Florentine? Artie Lang.
Unscreened phone calls.
All right, Fez, we got to fix up what you got going on over there. I need you to find the cable marked XLR, unplug it, and allow the show to go on.
Unscreened phone calls.
Come stay in overalls.
Come stay in overalls.
Feel better, Rorschach. I love you.
Unscreened phone calls.
I want an equal number of shellberries in each muffin. An equal number of shellberries.
Unscreened phone calls.
I don't always free the slaves, but when I do, I get shot.
Unscreened phone calls.
Hey, Fezzy. And they say what?
What? Unscreened phone calls.
Hi, you call and order food. Your order is ready.
Unscreened phone calls.
I could really do some brisket for lunch today, Ron. You got any brisket left?
Unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls.
I can't wait to hear this on the fucking replay.
Unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls.
Yeah, fire Chris, please. Great job yesterday, Fez. 10 times better than Chris.
Unscreened phone calls.
Compare these two, Dick Cheney and Fez Whatley's heart.
Unscreened phone calls.
Look at me, I'm the asshole who doesn't get the bit. Fuck you, Shelby.
Unscreened phone calls.
Yeah, what we want to do is take the show right to the top, Ronnie. We want to sign you, move you over to Raw Dog, to make it the #1 talk show on Raw Dog. Unfortunately, we're not going to give you any screeners to screen your calls, and the phone lines seldomly work.
866 Ron Zero Fez. Unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls.
Almost says unscreened phone call.
Unscreened phone call.
I was all fucked up on drugs till the Lord came by. Now I'm all fucked up on the Lord. Jesus saves.
Unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls.
Transam, what's your pleasure?
Unscreened phone calls.
Is there anything more delicious than Lady Trucker's hiney hole?
Unscreened phone calls.
This one time, I saw a dolphin fight a tornado, and guess what? The dolphin beat the tornado.
Unscreened phone calls.
Chris has hairy balls.
Chris has hairy balls.
John Crooks, no balls.
John Crook, no balls.
My fraternity circle jerks till this sets fires Instagram photos.
Unscreened phone calls.
Untouched Fez balls.
Untouched Fez balls. Unscreened phone calls.
Hey, it's Frederick Drunk. You guys are all right. I said you're all right. Hey, Fezzy. Fez.
Unscreened phone calls.
Yeah, I just got my Rams jersey in, and it already has AIDS.
Unscreened phone calls.
My moose knuckles showing.
Unscreened phone calls.
Yeah, Opie should watch who he's calling a fat fuck when it appears he's got kids bigger than my wife.
Unscreened phone calls.
Pepper Hicks. More like Pepper Dicks.
Unscreened phone calls.
Are we not men?
We're Devo. Unscreened phone calls.
Hello, I call from Chinese food. I knock on door, they don't answer. I climb up tree, I climb on roof, I look through window, I see little boy. I climb down tree. I knock on door, there's still no answer. I want to know you want your egg roll.
Unscreened phone calls.
Nigger.
Unscreened phone calls.
I'm on the air.
Unscreened phone calls.
You ever suck a guy's cock? Couple of cute girls, take that clip. Show me with your mouth. Show me with your mouth.
Let it go.
Unscreened phone calls.
This is your umbrella. Please pay the ransom, Daddy.
Unscreened phone calls.
Llamas.
Unscreened phone calls.
Bachata.
Unscreened phone calls.
Indian Rocks Beach needs a dashboard recipe.
Unscreened phone calls.
No, I don't think you guys get it. It's a gay dude playing for the Rams.
Unscreened phone calls.
Yeah, Michael Sampson's new meaning to the term quarterback sack.
Fez, what do you think we run? About 35 to 40% homophobic calls?
Yeah. I'd say closer to 40, if not 45.
It still means we're dropping. Unscreened phone calls.
For God's sakes, Fez, give back Ron Bennington's umbrella.
Unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls.
Hey, Flat Dick, you got a copy? Come on.
Unscreened phone calls.
This is Shelby. My lips are too big to make an unscreened phone call.
I know you're not Shelby because he's the guy who just fell asleep on the instant replay and hit it. Unscreened phone call. Unscreened phone call. Unscreened phone call.
Hi, it's Florentine. I like the Dolphins. I just want to say Chris Stanley's on.
That's pretty good. Unscreened phone calls.
Unscreened phone calls.
Unscreened phone calls.
Must know who the fat fuck is. Must know now.
Unscreened phone calls.
Come in with the milk. 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 Come in with the milk.
Unscreened phone calls.
I don't do my job as well when I'm constipated.
Unscreened phone calls.
Fuck's an idiot for not getting the bit. Get this dick!
Unscreened phone calls.
This is Charlie.
Unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls.
Thanks for signing up for Cat Facts. You will now receive a daily phone call with a fun fact about cats.
Unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't watch sports. I don't like fried chicken. I don't know what it is.
Unscreened phone calls.
Hello, I would like to order one large face salad so I can fucking sit on it.
Thank you for calling the Ron and Fez show. No one is currently available to screen your call. Please hold, and Ron and Fez will be right with you. Please stand by for your unscreened calls.
866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ. It is unscreened phone calls. Your chance to show why you're not on the radio. Unscreened phone calls.
The St. Louis Rams have just re-signed Jim Everett.
Unscreened phone calls.
Hey, I've met some really cool people from Chicago, and having only met Janice from Chicago on the radio, she's got to be the cherry on the sundae, baby. Cool.
Unscreened phone calls.
Yeah, I'm looking for Hans Bananas.
Unscreened phone calls.
Homo says untouched Fezball.
Untouched Fezballs. Unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls.
Yeah, maybe you guys can get somebody to screen the phone calls.
Unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls.
Then the balloon popped.
Unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls.
Shaking the bush, boss. Shaking the bush.
Unscreened phone calls. Four unscreened phone calls.
There's this Mexican family that lives down the street, and they had a dwarf, his daughter, and they named her Consuelo. Consuelo?
Unscreened phone calls.
Yeah, fuck. Hashtag Opie and
Unscreened phone calls.
Fuck you.
Unscreened phone calls.
So I looked back into the sand and saw that the Lord had left me. And I said, Lord, why is it during the longest parts of my hardest parts of my life, there was only a single set of footprints? And he said, sand people always ride single file to hide their numbers.
Unscreened phone calls.
You made me feel mighty real. Woo!
Unscreened phone calls.
Ice cream and blue balls.
Ice cream and blue balls.
How much for the driving?
Unscreened phone calls.
Fez, I need my fucking dildo back.
Unscreened phone calls.
Hey, Hicks, try not to break any chairs in the way of the parking lot. Hashtag fat fuck.
Unscreened phone calls.
Yeah, is it Del Unser?
Unscreened phone calls.
Let's play a little game called Just a Tip.
Unscreened phone calls.
Yeah, only the Lord saves more than Bernie Perrant.
Thank God for that. Unscreened phone calls.
Hicks, you fat cock-loving centaur, you know you broke that chair. Fess up to it.
Unscreened phone calls.
Unscreened phone calls.
Hello?
Unscreened phone calls.
T-Rex is pissed because he can't masturbate.
Unscreened phone calls.
It saddens me to say this, but we had to cancel the dark comedy show for lots of fucks given.
Unscreened phone calls.
For God's sake, William, don't go. It's a tramp, you're blind.
Unscreened phone calls.
Hey, Shelby, how do those big juicy lips fit around Pepper's tuna can cock?
Unscreened phone calls.
House, boat, water, phone, dope, Amtrak, Biden.
Unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls.
Fez is still a virgin because he wants to stop around and get kissed.
Unscreened phone calls.
Okay, new idea. We're going to do comedy while staring directly at the sun. Go!
Unscreened phone calls.
Grandpa bought a rubber. Hi, Zach.
Unscreened phone calls.
Wait a minute. He's black and gay?
Unscreened phone calls.
Dicks, balls, pussies, and tits. Shelby's face has dick-sucking lips.
Thank you for calling the Ron and Fez show. No one is currently available to screen your call. Please hold, and Ron and Fez will be right with you. Please stand by for your unscreened calls.
Unscreened phone calls.
You can stand me up by the gates of hell, but I won't back down.
Unscreened phone calls.
I'm not wearing any panties.
Unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls.
That whore gave my dad herpes.
Unscreened phone calls.
I like to stare at the boobies.
Unscreened phone calls.
I'm scared, Daddy. It's cold.
Unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls.
Chris's ass is so loose when he farts, it sounds like he's blowing on a brown jug.
Unscreened phone calls.
Straight people are so scared of gay people.
Unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls.
Tell me what you're wearing.
Unscreened phone calls.
Best thing in bed is Ethiopian head because her stomach's so hollow, you know she'll swallow.
Unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls.
I like bats.
Unscreened phone calls.
I'd like to ask Susie Essman a question. What's the one thing in the world that no one will ever do?
Unscreened phone calls.
Hey, this is Blowhard again, and back in 1975, I had a dick stuck in my ass, and it's been there ever since, Ronnie.
Unscreened phone calls.
I miss Lily.
Unscreened phone calls.
Ah, fuck.
Unscreened phone calls.
I'm going to Panama where everything smells like bananas and Pepper's dick.
866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. Time to play a little bit of unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls.
Says ice cream and blue balls.
Unscreened phone calls.
Homo says ice cream and blue balls.
Unscreened phone calls.
Hey, Ron, I know you think you're going to
Unscreened phone calls.
Well, you should see the girl.
Unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls.
Hey, Ron.
Unscreened phone calls.
Recommendation over the years, and I love Shelby.
Unscreened phone calls.
Can I blow my horn for Fezzy?
Unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls.
AC Quesos in Guatemala.
866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. It is the Ron and Fez show playing unscreened phone calls. Ron and Fez, unscreened phone calls.
I think my boyfriend Chris gave me chlamydia.
Unscreened phone calls.
If you ever want to see Casey Kasem again, you will clear Dave Herman of all charges.
Unscreened phone calls.
You're a nice guy. I wish people would say nicer things to you. God bless, and I hope everything works out.
Unscreened phone calls.
Eat pipe, fuck, slug, gobble, little shoe, put some half by bigger fuck, screw, moose, bitch, cat, foot, rag, tank, bitch, sheep, pussy, telegraph, big line, shit.
Unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls.
Oh, we want to run a train on Shelby's ass and give him a gaping butthole.
Unscreened phone calls.
Oh my gosh, I had this whole thing worked out and I was going to be hilarious. You guys were going to love me, but now that I'm on the radio, I'm freaking out. Oh my gosh.
Unscreened phone calls.
You thick fingers and now a girl?
Unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls.
Yeah, we've got a new comedy show coming up. Everybody's going to be 20 feet under the water. Everybody has scuba tanks. I think it'll be a really big hit.
Unscreened phone calls.
Yeah, I was calling to apply for the job. Says here you're looking for a call screener.
Unscreened phone call.
Says become burps.
Unscreened phone calls.
Ron, this is Jeffrey Gurian, and you know, it's just the most frustrating thing. With my healing powers, I should be able to touch all these children, but their parents will not let me. I just want to help.
Unscreened phone calls.
Hey, Ron, how about you work for a minute? What'd you think about Fargo last night?
Loved. Unscreened phone calls.
Why? What's it supposed to smell like?
Unscreened phone calls.
What did magic ever do but get AIDS?
Unscreened phone calls.
Shelby's empty balls.
Unscreened phone calls.
Yeah.
Unscreened phone calls.
No.
Unscreened phone calls.
Man goes in cage. Cage goes in water. Sharks in the water. Our shark.
Sick movie rest, brah.
Unscreened phone calls.
Chalk and jock, 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 chalk and jock.
Unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls.
Forget your friends on Facebook, FYF the band on Twitter.
Unscreened phone calls.
My girlfriend gave me chlamydia.
Unscreened phone calls.
Hey, you know what? I don't care what you said. The only way it's going to happen is if Sandberg swallows his pride and gets Kent Colby on the phone.
Unscreened phone calls.
Could we please bring back that redheaded fuck so I can laugh again?
Unscreened phone calls.
My left kitty nipple got an eye.
Unscreened phone calls.
Hi, this is Pepper X. I suck Pezzy's dick for his oxy script.
Unscreened phone calls.
I was fucking my grandmother when I smelled horse cock. And I said, oh, that's right. That's how she died.
There may be a reason that terrestrial radio doesn't do unscreened phone calls.
Don't do it, Ronnie. Don't you let them break us apart, Ronnie.
Unscreened phone calls.
Everyone at my funeral gets a stun gun. The last person standing gets all my stuff.
Unscreened phone calls.
You know what happens if I don't go, Ronnie? Nothing.
Unscreened phone calls.
Yeah, Shelby, can I get one of those blue jobs?
Unscreened phone calls.
You know how hard it is to masturbate when all you have to look at is pictures of missing children?
Unscreened phone calls.
And the number one way to kill an hour of radio when you don't have any content is...
Unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls.
I love Glenn Smith.
Unscreened phone calls.
Hey, Shelby, you come yet?
Unscreened phone calls.
Rat shit, dirty old twat, 69 asshole, tied in a knot, hooray, lizard shit, fuck!
Unscreened phone calls.
Why the hell is Jenny Hutt deathly afraid of Jackie Martling?
Unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls.
Jeff Gurian. Yeah.
Unscreened phone calls.
Pepper, they ruined a good woman when they put a set of nuts on you.
Unscreened phone calls.
Never get attached to something you can't walk away from at 20 seconds flat when you feel the heat from around the corner.
Sick movie rest, brah.
Unscreened phone calls.
Hey, can you grab me some Robin Trower out of the prize closet?
Unscreened phone calls.
That cupcake was fucking delicious.
Unscreened phone calls.
You're going to like that, you faggot fuck.
Unscreened phone calls.
How come when a man kills another man in battle, he's a hero, but when a man kills another man in the heat of passion, he's a murderer?
Unscreened phone calls.
Sweet Melissa, please call.
Unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls.
I like big butts and I cannot lie.
Unscreened phone calls.
I accidentally sharded this morning.
Unscreened phone calls.
Ronnie, why are we being punished?
Unscreened phone calls.
Ice cream fuckballs.
Ice cream fuckballs.
Hey, Ron, first time, long time. Is the answer Don Stileski?
Unscreened phone calls.
I'd like to speak to you about bridges, boats, and cars.
Unscreened phone calls.
Just touched my special place and never called me back. You whore.
Unscreened phone calls.
Unused fence hogs.
Unscreened phone calls.
Ice cream sandwich.
Unscreened phone calls.
Hey there, it's me from Chicago. I'm always calling and laughing at every little thing you say.
Unscreened phone calls.
Hi, Fezzy. This is your career coach, and the generally accepted practice is a named co-host actually speak.
Unscreened phone calls.
Shit, I was trying to get Ms. Fields.
Unscreened phone calls.
What's in the box?
Unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls.
Shelby's got a kind smile. I kind of like to stick my dick in.
Unscreened phone calls.
The Candyman will return.
Unscreened phone calls.
Pepper Hicks is a lot like the wrestler Kane because his parents are dead and his hair is sewn into his hat.
Unscreened phone calls.
Ramon, kill this shit bit.
Unscreened phone calls.
Touch 'em all, Joe. You'll never hit a bigger home run in your life.
Unscreened phone calls.
I saw Casey Kasem at Home Depot working as a paint shaker.
Unscreened phone calls.
Is it wrong? Because all I want to do is just snuggle with Fez.
Unscreened phone calls.
In theaters, July 2014, Fagception. It's a fag inside a fag inside a fag inside a fag. It's a fag inside a fag inside a fag inside a fag.
Unscreened phone calls.
Martin Leonard Skinner, as always, man.
Unscreened phone calls.
Jag Nabbit Alvin, I told you to keep your penis out of Fez's asshole. I'm sorry, preacher.
Unscreened phone calls.
We interviewed 100 Batmen.
Unscreened phone calls.
Shit, fuck.
Unscreened phone calls.
Yeah, bitch. Almost says unscreened phone calls.
Unscreened phone calls.
I screwed her up, I screwed her down, I screwed her lying, and I screwed her crying. At last she's not forgotten. I dug her up and screwed her rotten.
Thank you for calling the Ron and Fez Show. No one is currently available to screen your call. Please hold, and Ron and Fez will be right with you. Please stand by for your unscreened calls.
Unscreened phone calls.
It's like I'm unraveling a big cable net sweater, and someone keeps knitting, and knitting, and knitting, and knitting, and knitting, and knitting, and...
Unscreened phone calls.
My ass is itchy.
Oh no, it's a moral conundrum.
Fuck Ron Bennington.
What?
Face.
Hooah!
Sick movie rest, brah.
What's up, faggot?
It's the
15-yard penalty.
It's time for a Ron and Fez. Big homoquisical.
Fuck Fez.
Call the show if you're also hearing voices.
want?
They say a picture is worth 1,000 words.
Spy Report. Radio Psychic. Radio Psychic. Radio Psychic.
Better headline.
Oh, yeah. Y'all know it's time for some of that.
The Advice Show.
I want a fez who makes up words.
Running their cake horn, tooting that.
I want a fez who fucks shit up.
You fucked up.
I want a fez people talk about.
People are talking about me.
I'd talk about you for saying cake corn.
I want a fez who respects co-workers.
Fucking asshole losers around here got nothing better to do, and that includes Chris and Shelby.
I want a fez callers can count
We're not
on.
great. We got the Joe Jackson bit for the 400th fucking time.
I want a fez who
We're
trends
fucking
on
number
Twitter.
one trending in the United States. Hashtag cake corn. Yeah!
I want a fez with a cake horn and a long.
It's not about the cake corn, Chris.
It is about the fucking cake corn.
Cake corn is crazy.
Look who it is, Mr. Jay Moore.
Hi, boys. Looking good. I don't care how mad you are at Daddy. Daddy's going to be mad at us. I messed up the quote, but it doesn't matter because Chris Penn makes Ronnie happy. Sick movie rest, brah.
Jay Moore, what's happening with you, buddy? What the hell's going on in L.A.?
What do you mean what's going on in L.A.? It's 98 degrees. It's beautiful out. Oh, you mean the Clippers? Donald Sterling, who looked like Mickey Rourke. They were filming The Wrestler 2 on Anderson Cooper's couch. That was nice. Nice to see Mickey Rourke up and at him.
Why is L.A. the most racist city in America?
Apparently.
Yeah.
I loved that Donald Sterling had it so ass backwards that he told Vivian Stiviano. First of all, he doesn't like black, but he's dating a half-black woman. So I only hope he makes love to her on the side, like he hopes he gets the good half, right? And he says, you can hang out with him. You can eat. We're on satellite. You can fuck him. That's what he said. It got bleeped. But just don't bring him to my games. Like he doesn't even know how to be a racist the right way. You're supposed to go like, don't fuck him. That's all.
You're playing the South Point Hotel and Casino in Vegas, June 2022, 7:30 shows. Big Vegas act now, Jay.
Yeah, I love it. I signed a contract with them, so I go there 3 times a year. So if any of the Ron and Fez, any half slices out there want to come and grab a half slice with me in Vegas, I'd love to meet you guys. Ronnie B, how you been, man? You sound like $1 million.
You know what? I feel like $1.380 today, but now that I got Jay Moore on the phone, I'm feeling pretty good about myself.
What do you need? Any impression in the arsenal? You want Pacino to pick you up?
Yeah, I need a little Pacino.
Oh, what's wrong? You feel like $1.380. You know, can I tell you, when I was a child, wait, that was a long time ago, $1.380 was worth $10. That's a true story, Ron.
What's the newest impression?
Oh, newest one is Vin Scully. I like to think Vin Scully should take over for Keith Morrison narrating those murder shows.
Oh, that'd be nice.
She goes downstairs and finds the biggest axe she can find, goes back up into the master bedroom and buries it deep into her husband's skull, and there's one away.
See, this is the kind of stuff you're going to get at the South Point Casino. SouthPointCasino.com for more tickets, more information. The great Jay Moore, 3 times a year in Vegas now.
Ronnie B, we got to get together. You and I got to form like Hall and Oates. I don't think Daryl Hall or John Oates would know that you and I were out on the road. I'll wear the mustache. I'll be Oates, and I'll mime playing the bass. We'll have a whole band behind us. I'll let you be Daryl Hall, and you and I go out there and we hit the Indian casino circuit. We get after it.
See, I consider Daryl Hall and John Oates the kind of anti-Ron and Fez because those guys don't talk off stage. And
and you guys don't talk on mic.
yeah, we don't talk. It's only in public that we don't talk to each other. But off there, then it's like it hurts here and here.
Are you going to tell me that Fez is still living on Roosevelt Island? Don't you know? That's where I go. I have a girlfriend, Roosevelt Island. My voice used to be really high, Ron. If you watch The Godfather, I tell her, never ask me about my business, Kay. And somewhere along, how about in Dog Day Afternoon, we're Vietnam veterans, killing don't mean nothing to us. And then somewhere along the line, things got heavy on my back. Fez, are you there?
Hey, Jay, how are you even pulling this off?
Where is Fez? Where are you?
I'm right here, Mr. Pacino.
Then why don't you talk, you radio man? You work in radio, and you don't talk. What is that?
I have no answer for you, Mr. Pacino.
That's what I'm talking about. You gotta bump your gums, step up to the mic, and be Fez. You're one of the all-time greatest. I love you. You're a good man. I got to get back on the mic, my own radio show. But everybody listen to Ron and Fez because they will get you pregnant, Ronnie.
Thank you, Mr. Pacino.
Oh, now you talk.
Mr. Pacino will be at the South Point Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, June 20th to 22nd. All shows at 7:30 for Mr. Pacino.
Oh, that was Ron. That was very good. I'm impressed.
SouthPointCasino.com for tickets and information to see Mr. Pacino at the casino.
Fez is the greatest ass I've ever seen.
Talk to you later, buddy. That was Jay Moore. The one and only Jay Moore. 3 times a year, playing Vegas. I don't even know the South Point Hotel and Casino. Let's take a look at it. Put it up there, Pepper Hicks. We got some stuff we've got to get into today, including hate mail. Hate mail. That's something I've never got before. Wow, look at that casino. That's gorgeous. Now, I'm going to just say this, I've never seen it before. I'm wondering if that's the place that Paul Williams played in his documentary. He was very, very happy because they had a big sign of him in the Paul Williams documentary. I think it's still Paul Williams, or it's getting a little easier being green, something like that.
He does play it.
Thank you.
So that was it. That was in the doc.
I was happy with we're the anti-Hall Notes because they don't talk off stage and we don't talk on. I thought that was amazing. It laid there, Chris. It's one of those things, sometimes you go out of your way, you want to be good, and it just lays there. All right, emails. We do get emails, and this one came in late at night, and it was, it was very unhappy with us.
And now, Ron and Fez, the show of the future, brings you
electronic mail. Mail sent electronically.
Ron and Fez.
How does he do that?
I have no idea.
He's amazing. How about one time how he was just sleeping, and another time when he went out, he just leaned on it. It was fucking the funniest shit ever. So this says, Ronnie B., I got this late last night. I was the winner of the March Madness Kevin Durant ball. I have been listening to you guys since WNEW. I primarily pay for XM to listen to your show. I get the ball today. It's been tossed into an oversized box, not even bubble wrapped. The ball is all scuffed up and just makes the whole thing come across half-assed. I beat out nearly 4,000 people for this prize. Dudes shipping used condoms on eBay take more pride in their work than your team. The two idiots, Shelby and Hicks, working the case, and then he puts in quotation marks, lose my mailing address twice, and I had not recently called in to check in on the ball after over a month of waiting for the prize, it would probably still be sitting in some broom closet. Absolutely piss poor. I asked myself, how did these guys make it this far, and why do you continue to keep them on your team? Disappointing, Nate. First of all, I didn't know you could buy used condoms on eBay, but Chris Stanley, and your head today is grease.
Yeah.
Why are you such a grease head?
Didn't shower last night. Just like when I got home, I just went home and went to bed. So
this morning?
I did. No, I woke up and came right here. Very greasy.
Get a picture. Don't even touch anything.
No.
Get a picture of him, only the head, so you can see. Do you know how greasy it is?
I know how greasy it gets.
Yeah.
So I can assume.
I mean, you get nothing but compliments on your hair.
Yeah.
Around here, high compliments.
Well, I always figured the grease oils make the hair good. Like that, like natural hair oil is good.
So now you let me know. Here, bring it over this way.
In front of my face, Shelby.
Yeah. I want to make sure the full grease shows up. Get another picture, Shelby, because I don't trust you. You're a slow-moving fucking guy, too.
One for safety, Shelby.
Yeah. So like Gurian always says, one for safety. Get two on there, because when I
know.
When I get it developed.
I know. From the waist up, I know.
Now, what does he say from the waist up?
He says from the waist up. I take a lot of the pictures for him.
Yeah.
And so he
always wants from the waist up?
He says from the waist up, please. I was like, no problem.
Why does he want that?
I don't know. I guess that's how maybe that's how he has them all, so he wants them all like kind of uniform. Like the actual.
I've never heard him say that.
He's definitely told me that a number of times.
I wonder if he thinks that if you try to get on, sometimes it cuts off the head of taller people. But it's a very interesting premise. I'll have to ask him that later today. He's going to have a mystery guest. All right, Chris, is there anything that Nate is saying that is true? Did you put a ball in an oversized box?
There was a box that was large that we put the ball in.
Why wouldn't you bubble wrap it? Why would you have a ball bouncing around in a box when you're shipping it across the country?
Because I wasn't thinking. And when he initially won and called in, I wasn't in the booth to take his information. Whoever's in the booth didn't get his information.
Well, who's ever in the booth?
It would have been Shelby at the time.
So why are you afraid to say Shelby?
Because I'm his technically...
Shelby, is this true? You fucked up?
I thought we just had his ESPN email. I didn't know that he called in.
They call in.
All right. Why are you putting your head down? This is all Shelby's fault?
No, it's my fault for not trading him correctly. It all falls on me.
But you would have already mailed him a scuffed up ball earlier. I think I got to get him a bonus ball. Fez, read off.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
That's good right there. That's a fucking great. That's a Hall of Famer. I'm going to write back to this guy. Can we send you a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? You write it right now.
Okay.
You write him like a nice apology. You made a mistake. You're sorry. And you would like to offer him a bonus Kareem Abdul-Jabbar ball. Which, by the way, you're taking from another lucky listener who would have won it.
I know. There's a future listener out there that's not getting that ball.
By the way, that's 2 Hall of Fame balls that you fucking wasted this year. 3rd, counting Kevin Durant. I'm just pointing that out. I know you don't have to worry. I know you don't have to go in pocket for it. Did you write? You writing a nice apology?
I'm writing it right now.
Good. Someone wrote in that Gurian asked for above the waist because he doesn't like his legs. He thinks his legs are too thin.
How could you not like his legs?
Someone said he has Muppet felt legs, and I never know. I never noticed anything with guys. I noticed your grease head today. How did the grease head picture come out?
Good. Sent that over the other.
Sent that over the other.
Yeah.
Send it on over to him.
Now, I don't see. This is why I hate phones. I don't think you get the full sense of grease.
It doesn't capture the shiny greasiness.
Yeah. Did you get something like straight on? I don't know why you kept going above instead of straight on.
He was doing it like I'm a fucking 14-year-old girl posting a selfie to MySpace.
Well, I really wanted to get that whole scalp. It's all
but
greasy.
The front is where the funny, where it really shows up.
Try turning on one of the big videotaping lights on the ceiling, and maybe we'll get some glare right off of that head.
Thank you, Mr. Pacino. Well, I don't think so.
Maybe you should wear the hat.
No, forget it. Let's just, do the thing. Here's David has a complaint, too. David, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, Ronnie, if you remember, this guy had to call in and tell you guys he was the winner. The wrong winner was announced, if you remember.
All right,
like
Chris.
the guy that came in 41st.
All right, this is being done right now, Chris.
Yes.
And this is not to fuck with you, but I'm taking you off of contest and mailing out. Fez?
Yes?
Would you want those positions?
I will take contests and mailing out.
Because I got news for you, and I'm being totally honest here, Chris. I've worked at a lot of radio stations, and I've never heard of complaints of, I didn't get my prize. Ever. It just doesn't come up. I won, I gave my address, I didn't get my prize. That just never happened until here. So, Fez, you're going to be on top of this?
I am Fez, shipping and handling Watley.
How are you doing as the booking guy?
Good, I got you Jay Moore today.
Thank you. Also, you sent out a nice schedule last night. That was very nice.
I redid the schedule, Ronnie, in a new way so that I highlighted names.
And I know who's booking the person.
Yeah.
Like I know if it comes from Steve Leeds or whatever.
Or if it's Laura or Liam, that's included. And also what the person would like to promote when they stop by to chat.
You mean Not the Wrong Movie?
Exactly. That way we get the right product mentioned in the schedule. Everyone's on board. I'm going to be packing these prizes myself like I'm one of Santa's elves.
All right, Chris, you want to read what you have there?
Yeah. Hello, Nathan. In light of mine and Shelby's screw-up in shipping the Kevin Durant ball, we would like to offer you a replacement ball that will be shipped correctly and post-haste. We can offer you a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar signed NBA basketball. Please respond to me if you would like it.
It's not a replacement ball. It's a bonus ball.
Bonus
ball.
Getting.
To make up for our mistake, that type of thing. I'm glad that you threw Shelby under the bus with this, too. Did you mail it out, Shelby?
Yeah, I'm usually the one that goes with contests and shipping and whatnot.
Why would you not fucking wrap this thing so the ball didn't bounce around?
It didn't seem like it was going to bounce around.
He says it's all scuffed up. But nobody answers me back. I'm just the fucking dead air twins.
I'm very sorry about the Kevin Durant ball. Make sure the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar ball is packed up nicely.
Well, Fez will. He's in charge of that now.
I'll take care of that. Of course, I would think to do it anyway. If I have to run it down to FedEx to get it packed properly, I'll do it.
I like your style, Fez. You're the fucking comeback king. All right, Fez is in charge of that. So give me your duties that you've taken over from Chris Stanley.
I am now the booker man. Mm-hmm. I'm handling booking and guests, and now also contests, prizes, and handling and shipping of the winners and their prizes.
Wow.
I don't mind.
I don't mind doesn't seem like somebody would say if they were excited about something. You'll never see somebody like this. I don't mind being your next president. Seriously, it will not be a problem. It's not that much of a burden.
I guess I'll be the CEO of Google.
You show, yeah. I wouldn't mind running your company for you. Seriously. I don't know. All right, I got a contest for you three guys. Do you guys feel like you're up for a contest?
Yes.
I am so up. I'm on a roll this week.
All right, it's going to be a half marathon, which is, I think, 13 and a half miles or something?
Yeah.
Starting now, you guys are going to be running over the Queensboro Bridge.
Oh,
You don't want to do it? You ready to go?
I need a fucking win. And I know that guy moves slow, and that guy's real fucking unhealthy.
I guarantee right now, by the time you got to the elevator, you would either pass out or your pants would fall down.
I would still, even after a heart attack and a dislocated neck, I would still beat these guys.
Oh, that walk's a pain in the ass. I did it during Sandy.
The after picture of Chris Stanley that you see on the packs of cigarettes isn't going to make it. And Shelby, we've seen his walk. There's no way I could imagine him running.
All right, I've got something here. I've got a box in front of me. And we've never done this before, but with the guys on the team, I am prepared to play What's in the Box. That's slow, Shelbo. That's really slow.
There's something in the box.
What's in the box?
The item in the box is signed.
You lie!
It's signed by a celebrity.
You're a fucking liar!
Can you guess?
Shut up! What's in the box?
This is exciting. I've never actually played an edition of What's in the Box. I've screamed What's in the Box before, but I've never actually participated as a contestant.
All right, I'm thinking of a number, Fezzi, between 1 and 3.
2.
Fezzi got it. Exactly the number I was thinking of.
Yes.
So you will go first. Your first is a keepsake. Well, first of all, what game do you want to play?
What's in the box?
Show you with the box. What was in the box?
A keepsake.
A keepsake. Is it a baseball card?
Sorry. Chris Stanley.
All right. First of all, what's in the fucking box? Is it a stuffed animal?
Well, first of all, I didn't even give you any fucking clues at all, and you don't ask me clues. So we move on to Shelby. Shelby. Born in 1992.
Is it a Miley Cyrus CD?
Sorry. Because Watley, you know how to play.
What's in the box?
What's in the box? Haven't heard from him since 2009.
All right, keepsake.
Yeah.
Born in 1992. Haven't heard from him in 2009.
Since 2009.
Since 2009. Wow, this is tough. Is it a framed picture of someone?
Sorry. Chris Stanley, rather than ask me a question and freak out and take us off fucking track, what game do you want to play?
What's in the box?
Show you with the box. What was in the box?
I don't even like the way he did that one, so I'm going to take it back to Shelby. Shelby, what game do you want to play?
I want to play What's in the Box?
Okay, Shelby, here's your question. I'll just give you this clue. Selena Gomez. Sorry, too long. Fez Watley.
I want to play What's in the Box?
Schoolroom.
Schoolroom. With the other clue, Selena Gomez. Haven't heard from since 2009. Born in 1992. Keepsake. Is it a Justin Bieber CD signed?
Justin Bieber CD signed. Of course not. I've got him trying to run the replay, and I can't tell you how nervous he is with it. Let's go over to Chris Stanley. What game do you want to play?
I want to play What's in the Box?
I saw you with the box. What was in the box?
No adults saw him.
No, is that a clue?
And let's go over here. Do you remember the clues, Shelby?
Was born in
1992.
Haven't heard from him since 2009.
Yeah.
Selena Gomez. And where's the kid?
All right, I'm going to give you the next clue. Tell me what you want to play.
I want to play What's in the Box?
All right, here you go, Shelby. And this is for you. And if you don't get it, I'm just going to light this box on fire. All right, are you ready, Shelby?
I'm
Here's
ready.
your clue. And just when I tell you you can guess, then you can guess, okay? He's purple, has a green stomach, green spots on his back, 3 large toenails that are yellow, and you kept him on your bed since you were a little boy right up through your high school years.
It sounds like Barney, if I may. The Barney the dinosaur.
Barney the dinosaur. You're Barney the dinosaur, Shelby.
That clue was so tough, that last one.
That you kept on your bed. The exact one since you were a little boy.
I haven't seen that in years.
What, 3? 3 years?
Give him a hug! It's your Barney!
Come on, stand up over here. Get a picture of him for Twitter. Your dad sent this to me.
Aww.
And he wanted me to play What's in the Box with you. But you don't seem so happy about it.
I love your dad!
You don't seem so happy about it.
I could have sworn I lost that in the move.
Well, he found it. Here's the funny thing. He's going through boxes in the garage, and then he goes, and so he's going through it, and he opens up a box, and he goes, oh my God, and your new mom yelled, what's in the box? And then that gave him the idea to have you play What's in the Box. You got your Barney back. Now, you kept this all the way through high school on your bed?
Yeah, I think I was like a freshman in high school.
Pussy!
That major pussy move there.
No, come on. Let's see. Hug it.
Hug Barney.
Same way like you're sleeping with it.
Snuggle with him, cheek to
A little
cheek.
higher to you. Yeah, cheek to cheek.
There you go.
It's your face.
Ron says, what's your name, where you're from?
That's really cute.
We got buddy.
Barney's back.
Hide me, Rick. Save me, Rick.
Oh, also, because of this, when you go to Twitter, let's get it up on Twitter almost immediately. You'll make sure you get our new weird logo in it, too, Chris.
Okay, yeah.
Just from the waist up. Only pictures from the waist up. Oh, my God. That is so adorable. Is that going on your bed now?
No, it's probably going in the trash.
Don't say that. Don't say that. Wasn't that a great little fucking joke, though? That was from your dad.
Got me.
He and I had a long talk about you the other day.
Interesting.
It was very tough for you to finally hand over my email, he said. You didn't want to give it to him.
Yeah, I guess.
He was very nice. He said, I'm really taking good care of you. He appreciates it.
Nice.
I'm keeping an eye out on you. Now you got your Barney Warney, and now you'll be able to sleep better. So you thought you lost it in the move? This is like fucking Toy Story. This is like a really R-rated Toy Story.
So sweet.
Why are you just glaring at me? Are you in shock? Are you furious?
Kind of. The whole thing is just a mix of emotions.
What is a mix of emotions?
Well, then he did it, and then I thought like so much shit was like, because we moved from like a pretty big house to like a really small one, we just like chucked a lot of shit, and like bringing back memories.
Oh no, it's making you sad?
Yeah.
You downsized. That's a wonderful thing.
Jeez, thought those movers chucked that. Now I'm living my childhood again.
Oh, you like that picture though?
It's getting sent over right now.
The new logo is so strange. I don't know. We need a break here?
We should break. Yeah, we haven't broken yet.
All right, let's take a break. When we get back, we'll get into some other stuff. But go over it as soon as we get up on the Ron and Fez SXM Twitter account and check out the picture of Shelby and his boyhood buddy, Barney the Dinosaur. You loved him, huh?
It was a good show, quality programming.
But I mean, the stuffed animal, your dad said you could never sleep without him? You'd always call for Barney?
I don't know if I would be calling for him. Where would he be?
Well, when you didn't want to get to sleep or whatever, you said, where's my Barney? And all the way through high school, you had it on your
I don't know
bed.
if it was... I think he's like stretching the years a bit. And I don't know how long... I was in high school for a year then.
It's cute. That's your pal. That's your imaginary friend, the stuffed animal. Sometimes when things weren't going your way...
Well, he's not imaginary. He is real. I mean...
You're sitting there going like this. Is it my fault, Barney? Is it my fault? Look, that's a great picture of you two together, too. What's wrong? What is it, Fez?
I just needed Chris to wear headphones because I was looking for something in Delete that I didn't have, and I wanted Chris to play the Barney song off of YouTube.
Just say it.
Chris, could you play the Barney song off of YouTube? I love you.
We're going to take a break here when we get back. If you're a big Bryan Cranston fan and can't wait to see him in Godzilla, you might be a little depressed about the new news. It's the Ron and Fez Show.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, Ron and Fez on Raw Dog.
Sirius XM
Comedy Hits. Channel 99.
Thank you for calling the Ron and Fez Show. No one is currently available to screen your call. Please hold, and Ron and Fez will be right with you. Please stand by for your unscreened calls.
Unscreened phone calls.
Hi, I just want to congratulate my good friend for the hashtag Fez promotion. Hashtag Fez promotion.
Unscreened phone calls.
Hey, I don't like the unscreened phone calls bit.
Unscreened phone calls.
I was wondering if I could promote my comedy show. It's going to be in the dark.
Unscreened phone calls.
Pepper hits at the cum belly.
Unscreened phone calls. True.
Hey, Ronnie, this is Blowhardy. Back in 1965, I was a know-it-all asshole.
Unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls.
What's it for?
Unscreened phone calls.
Time now for our long-distance dedication. It's the long-distance dedication to myself. For the love of fuck, someone come find me.
Unscreened phone calls.
All right.
Unscreened phone calls.
Hey, Ron, it's fuck. Ronnie!
Yeah.
Hey, it's fuck. Can you hear me?
Unscreened phone calls.
Ronnie!
Unscreened phone calls.
Hey, check out my new interview show on YouTube, One Beer with Dan Murphy. Check it out. Cool stuff.
Unscreened phone calls.
To all the fans, stop complaining about the lack of replays. It's 2014. Download the show and listen to it on demand, for God's sake. Pepper Hicks, let's do it.
Unscreened phone calls.
Ken Moore got me pregnant.
Unscreened phone calls.
Is it wrong what I done to my daddy? 'Cause you ain't selling Napa Auto Parts, lady. I ain't buying.
Unscreened phone calls.
Shelby likes to tickle Pepper's pecker.
True. Unscreened phone calls.
I want to hold Fez down and give him a pink belly.
Unscreened phone calls.
Where's Lily at?
Unscreened phone calls.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I present for your intellectual and philosophical pleasure,
Ron and Fez on Raw Dog, Sirius XM Comedy Hits, Channel 99.
Everybody come see the greatest show. Gather up all juggalos and roll. Everybody come see the greatest show. Gather up all juggalos and roll.
Oh yeah, buddy, it's the Ron and Fez show. 866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. You got your dialing finger ready. We're about to go unscreened phone calls to start the show today. We haven't done this in a long time. Unscreened phone calls, your chance to say what you want, when you want, about anything you want. 866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. Fez, make sure you tell booking department yes on that.
Okay, will do. I'll answer right now.
Okay.
Immediately.
It's okay. Thanks for being up. All right, unscreened phone calls today. I like positive Fez. It's a whole new thing.
It's already done, Ronnie. I did it.
It's like an everyday bar rescue with him, where he's ready to take on a new personality. All right, we will get your phone calls through without a screener to start to show off today. We got some imaging on that?
Thank you for calling the Ron and Fez show. No one is currently available to screen your call. Please hold, and Ron and Fez will be right with you. Please stand by for your unscreened calls.
It's like kind of crazy that we have a screener, like an operator telling people that they won't be screened or talking to an operator. 866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. Unscreened phone calls.
Hey, I've got a booking for Fez. Can I talk to him off air?
Unscreened phone calls.
Hey, I was just wanted to let you know that I fucking love your ICP opening every day.
Unscreened phone calls.
Ron, you've said that Jack Nicholson was the coolest person alive. I think it's John Lennon. Who do you really think it is?
Unscreened phone calls.
Inside D for life.
Unscreened phone calls.
What do you call Michael J. Fox on a cross-country flight? Shakes on a plane.
Unscreened phone calls.
John Ritter! John Ritter!
Unscreened phone calls.
Hey, Ron, I met Rick Aguilera in 1986. He patted me on the shoulder and said, I'll be right back, kid. I'll give you an autograph. Got in the car and sped off.
Unscreened phone calls.
Hey, I got a story for you guys. You guys help cure cancer.
Unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls.
Yeah, could you play Bird Dog Star by the Birds, please?
866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. Unscreened phone calls.
Please fire Jeffrey Gurian.
Unscreened phone calls.
Where's Krogurian? You promised us Krogurian!
866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. Unscreened phone calls.
Another Fesatorial.
Unscreened phone calls.
Sam Roberts' breath smells like dick. Thank you.
866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. Unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls.
Could you find a smaller room for us to talk in?
Unscreened phone calls.
Jenny Hut's a fat cunt.
Unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls.
Hey, my buddy Rorschach is in the hospital. I want to wish him a speedy recovery.
Is that true?
Yeah.
I'll have to check on that. Unscreened phone calls.
Hey, hump day. Hey, Ronnie, this is the real blowhard. I just wanted to say that last caller who was talking about me is the most accurate, on-point, freakishly descriptive depiction of myself that I think I've probably ever heard.
Unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls.
Grandma Noonie died.
Unscreened phone calls.
Chris Stanley is a fat fuck shit breaker.
Unscreened phone calls.
Hello. Two queers walk into a bar. One's named Pepper Hicks, one's named Fez.
Unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls.
Ross Reback is a genius.
Unscreened phone calls.
Hey, what's going on, Ronnie? You know what, I'm not going to give you praise. Every time David comes on, man, it's just a fucking blast. That man boy fucking coming in for Fez's had me laughing for 2 fucking weeks.
Unscreened phone calls.
Great talking to you. I'll catch you the next time coming through.
Unscreened phone calls.
Maddie Poslucny is a bitch.
Unscreened phone calls.
What do you think was more of a letdown, when the chair broke under Pepper or Blondie on a comedy show?
Unscreened phone calls.
I want to drop a load of my salty fake Shane sauce down Jenny Hut's goo gutter.
Unscreened phone calls.
Hey, Chris Stanley, suck a dick.
Unscreened phone calls.
I'm 37 and I fucked a 22-year-old redhead yesterday.
Unscreened phone calls and bragging.
Woo! I'm back.
Unscreened phone calls.
The only way I'll have sex with you is if you can promise me you'll never die. I can't promise that. I would have sex with you right now. I promise I will never die.
Unscreened phone calls.
You remember when Fez wrestled Molly McShane?
Unscreened phone calls.
Too much Gurian.
Unscreened phone calls.
Yeah, I'd like to plug my YouTube channel, Booking by Cumbelly.
Unscreened phone calls.
Bring back Bronx Johnny and the Sex Extravaganza.
Unscreened phone calls.
If you're an adult wrestling fan, you like dick?
Unscreened phone calls. Unscreened phone calls.
I've got a tiny penis.
I know. Unscreened phone calls.
Fezzy, suck on that dick.
Unscreened phone calls. That ain't gonna happen.
Good buddy.
Unscreened phone calls.
The Ron and Fez show. They've officially gone full retard. Hashtag Ron and Fez.
Unscreened phone calls.
Let's go Bruins! Yeah!
Yay. Unscreened phone calls.
Yeah, is this unscreened? I just want to say, Queen Elizabeth's pussy is fucking amazing.
Jesus. Unscreened phone calls.
Pepper Hicks, fat Pepper Hicks broke Opie's chair.
Unscreened phone calls.
Freebird!
Unscreened phone calls.
Hey, yeah, did you guys going to be lining up for the Wheeling of the Chair event every day?
Unscreened phone calls.
Hey, Fezzy, why is shit tapered? So your bunghole doesn't slam shut.
Unscreened phone calls.
Tom Seaver over Steve Carlton every day.
Fuck you. Unscreened phone calls.
Fezzy, my Titans are going to get the revenge when they beat your Rams in the Super Bowl this year.
Unscreened phone calls.
Yeah, we don't fit into that white-collar crowd. We're a little too noisy and a little too loud. But there ain't no place that I'd rather be than right here with my redneck White Sox and Blue Ribbon beer.
Unscreened phone calls.
Why do you like the wrinkled brown star?
Unscreened phone calls.
Faz Wake's dog balls.
Unscreened phone calls.
Unchased Bezballs.
Unchased Fezballs.
Hey, I think that centaur should suck his dick and play some Freebird for my Uncle Doug.
Unscreened phone calls.
Ice cream cone calls.
Ice cream cone calls.
Yeah. So little Johnny comes home and says to his dad, Dad, what's the difference between a pussy and a cunt? His dad says, come here, I'll show you. Goes in the bedroom where Mom is sleeping. He lifts up her nightgown and he says, see that furry thing? That's a pussy. Little Johnny says, can I touch it? Dad says, no, you'll wake the cunt.
Unscreened phone calls.